All right, today we're going to dig deep into the very fabric of reality. We're on the hunt for a single, elegant rule. A rule that builds both the ground we walk on and, well, us, the life that walks upon it.
So, let's kick things off with a puzzle for you. Take a rock and a person. What could they possibly have in common? One is, just sitting there, and the other is this incredibly complex living being. They seem like total opposites, right? But believe it or not, they share a secret design principle, a fundamental blueprint that connects them, and we are absolutely going to uncover it.
Okay, first up, let's look at what the Earth's crust is actually made of. It's kind of wild. It's overwhelmingly dominated by just two things. Get this, nearly half of it is oxygen. And then another quarter, more than a quarter actually, is silicon. Those two are the undisputed champions of the non-living world.
All right, now let's flip over to the human body. And the profile is totally different. Here, carbon is king. Well, second in command anyway. It's the backbone of all life as we know it. But, wait a minute, look closer. What's the number one element in both of these charts? Yep, it's oxygen. That is a really fascinating first clue that there's some deeper connection going on here.
Okay, let's dive into our first case file, the ground beneath our feet. What in the world is holding it all together?
The answer is surprisingly simple. A whopping 92% of the entire Earth's crust is built from just one class of minerals, and they're all based on one single repeating shape. That's it, just one. And here it is. Meet the star of our geological show. This is nature's own Lego brick, the silicate tetrahedron. It's this tiny, perfect little pyramid. You've got a silicon atom right in the middle, bonded to 4 oxygen atoms at the corners. And this little guy is the starting point for pretty much every single rock you have ever seen in your life.
So the big question is, right, how does this one simple shape, this one little brick, create the incredible variety of minerals we see all around us? Think about it, from soft, squishy clays to super hard granites.
Well, it's all about how they connect. It's just like Legos. By sharing those corner oxygen atoms, these tiny pyramids can link up in all sorts of different ways. Sometimes they're just floating around on their own. Sometimes they form single chains, or double chains, or even flat sheets. And eventually, they can build these incredibly complex 3D frameworks.
And here's the really cool part. The way they're built, that structure, it directly dictates the mineral's properties. So simple structures, like the independent little pyramids in olivine, they break down pretty easily. But the more connections you add, the tougher and tougher the mineral gets. Which brings us to quartz, with its fully interlocked 3D framework. It's one of the absolute hardiest minerals on Earth. It's a fundamental rule of nature. Structure equals function. You're going to want to remember that.
Okay, so that's how you build a rock. Now for our second case file, the machinery of life itself. Surely something this complex, this alive, it has to follow a completely different set of rules, right?
Well, not exactly. Life actually uses the exact same building block strategy. It just specializes its materials for 2 really important jobs. You've got amino acids, which build proteins. Think of them as the workers of the cell. And then you have nucleotides, which build things like DNA. Those are the blueprints.
So let's start with the workers, proteins. They're built from just about 20 different types of amino acids, and each one has its own unique property, which is what allows for this incredible diversity of functions in our bodies.
And then, for the instruction manual, we have nucleotides. You can see their 3-part structure is just perfectly designed to store and transmit information, using that famous 4-letter chemical alphabet. Okay, so we have the parts. Now let's see how life puts them together to create the insanely complex structures that make you, well, you. See if this process sounds a little familiar. See? It's the same principle. Just like with the minerals, it's a process of assembly. The amino acids link up one by one to form a long chain. But here's where the real magic happens. That chain then folds itself into a specific, mind-bogglingly complex 3D shape. And it's that final, folded shape that gives the protein its unique job.
And the blueprint assembly? It follows the exact same logic. DNA's famous double helix structure makes it super stable, which is perfect for protecting our genetic code over the long haul. RNA, on the other hand, is a more flexible single strand. That makes it the ideal mobile messenger, carrying instructions from the DNA out to the cell's little protein-building factories.
All right, so we've looked at the little tetrahedrons that build entire mountains, and we've looked at the amino acids that build our muscles. We've seen how they both get put together.
So now, let's bring it all home for the big reveal.
The crucial point is this. These two worlds, the living and the non-living, that seem so fundamentally different, they're actually speaking the same structural language. They are built from the exact same core rulebook.
And this is the solution to our puzzle. Nature builds truly staggering complexity using one simple, incredibly powerful rule. You start with a simple, basic unit, you link those units together using a specific set of rules, and from that simple beginning, you create vast, complex systems. It doesn't matter if it's a silicate tetrahedron sharing an oxygen atom to build a mountain, or an amino acid forming a peptide bond to build a muscle. The underlying logic is identical.
You know, this isn't just a rule for Earth. It seems to be a fundamental pattern woven right into the fabric of reality itself. And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-blowing thought to ponder. If this elegant, simple principle can build rocks and life, entire worlds, and the things that live on them, what else out there, across the entire universe, is being built right now using the very same blueprint?